I don't know. I suppose we were afraid, but it was an emotion outweighed by the feeling of doing what you plan. It's the most fearful part is when you don't know or you've decided but you haven't done it. Or is for me.
The police came rushing in and arrested you?
Yeah, they were a bit rough. And they put us in 2 police cars, as I remember. We were separated, but not totally. There were at least 2 of us together, and at least one of our black friends. This is really coming back to me. I remember probably it was as we got out of the police car to go into the jail, there was then a great crowd of white people. And that was my moment of truth about hatred, looking into the eyes of hatred. It was terribly shocking. I realized that they would kill us the first chance they got. They absolutely detested us. And I'm a middle-class kid. I'd had various personal tragedies in my life, but I'd never seen that before. And I was astounded and truly shocked. I never forgot it. I never will. I swung round to the other side thinking what it must be to feel that way. What a terrible thing it is for the hater. But at that moment, I just hadn't seen it before, and there it was, just sheer hatred. And you can't exactly say it was frightening, it was astounding. And then there's a kind of a funny scene inside the jail. Those poor people, we did shake them. I guess they separated us from the blacks, so it was the 5 women in a room where they were questioning us. And I started in on our pocketbooks. What was inside our pocketbooks, I had to see everything. Well, Peggy had some ongoing disease, so she had these pills, these different kinds of pills she had to take, and she was trying to explain this to them, and they thought it was drugs, those flashy northern women with drugs. I had a period, and my pocketbook was full of Tampax and Kotex, and I had to look at all this stuff. I don't know, you can imagine these 5 pocketbooks. They were just, it was terrible. They were embarrassed and angry, everything all mixed in. It was just awful. And then they wanted to know what our occupations were. And they knew the name Lilienthal from the TVA dam. I knew they had somebody connected with somebody important, and that made them nervous. So that was Peggy's contribution. And they came to Virginia, and she said she was a television writer. And Nancy said she was a writer, which she was. Polly was a housewife, and I was a tax collector. And they just could not figure out what in the world we were doing there. And it was comical. It was so crazy. They couldn't really touch us, and people were calling and saying, "Don't you hurt those people?" And so they didn't hit us or beat us up or anything like that. And they knew that people on the outside knew we were there, and that they had to be careful. But I figure that'll make them madder than ever. The cells were just awful. Just perfectly designed to humiliate. We were out the next day. We just spent one night there.